Today's coverage brought to you by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Here at the TPC Scottsdale in Arizona, and Frank, when so many people tune in to watch this great event, they think immediately of the 16th hole with all of those fans jammed in. It's like Fenway Park inside the desert there, but it's much more than that little par 3, isn't it?
It certainly is more than that, Rich. The TPC Scottsdale is a great venue for a PGA Tour event. It's a blend of everything: birdie opportunities, holes that are fraught by water, bunkering that's been changed. All in all, it's a great atmosphere with nearly 500,000 people that visit this during the tournament week.
And we pick up action at the 4th. Frank, we're early in the second round. What have you seen so far?
I've seen a lot that can be improved on too, but there's enough good there. That's the main thing. You know, the scorecard doesn't always reflect how you're playing, but a little bit of basics out there. Fairways, greens, maybe knock a couple of putts in. All of a sudden that scorecard looks different.
And into the thicker stuff.
Let's see if he can bludgeon this one out.
Not in the fairway, but not too bad. Just in that first cut. How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
You'd like that one again.
Oh, you can see the frustration. Almost kicked his putter head right there with a drop shot here at the 4th. Just a couple of feet. Man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Trying to put this hole behind him quickly. double bogey putt. Frank, how do you explain what we saw here?
It's a mess. It's probably the easiest way to put it. Not just probably, it did.
Well, Frank, now at the fifth hole, the par 4, the challenge stiffens just a bit.
Yeah, the longest par 4, obviously in the start of this golf course, around the 470-yard mark. 2 bunkers down the right have been changed to 1, but it's in the perfect position now. Of course, that new tee added to add a little bit of length to this hole. The green still remains relatively similar to what it used to be.
Frank, that is position A.
Yeah, the tee shot was like silk, Rich. I mean, just sets up that second shot so beautifully.
Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. This one looks right on point. On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. It's a good-looking putt right here. You might like it. This one has a chance, and he has it. Beautiful putt. Par 4 sixth, and Frank, a couple of options here.
Yeah, a hole that bends to the left. A draw is the preferred shot off the tee. The longer hitters will have a big advantage. They'll be able to get it down there and just have a pitch or a short wedge into this. If you're not, that long, then you're going to have to lay it back short of those bunkers. That's going to leave a lengthy second shot.
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards. This is a good lie, 155 yards out. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Frank, we haven't seen a whole lot of that, but no doubt it feels good. Now to the second par 3 on the front 9. This is the 7th hole.
Yeah, quite a stiff par 3 because of the narrowness in the front. Really favoring a higher shot that's going to land softly, and therefore you can open up that green, because the further back you go, the wider it gets.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
That was like Usain Bolt, Frank, right through the tape.
Yeah, that first step, that was never going to stop.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. That is professional with a capital P right there.
That's stealing.
Frank, where's the difficulty here on the 7th hole, the par 3 of more than 200 yards?
Well, Rich, front hole locations are always probably the toughest here because that's the narrowest part of the green. Bunkering really hasn't changed, and the green still does widen up, but the hole tends to play slightly uphill. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Frank, this is just a pleasure to watch. A player hitting on all cylinders at the top of his game.
Notice it's just flowing too. There's not a lot of deep analysis going through his mind. Just one step in front of the other. If your swing's there, you don't have to find it. If your putting stroke's there, you don't have to find it. Just let it happen.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Wow, what a shot. Doesn't even need the putter. Well, Frank, this day had a little bit of everything. I mean, you always catch your breath after a round at TPC Scottsdale because it's generally just so exciting, and today was no exception.
Yeah, the atmosphere here is unlike any other TPC golf course. The fact that you're playing a golf course where the PGA Tour visits every year is one thing, but the condition of the golf course is just absolutely amazing. They're playing in thinner air. The golf course, even with its changes, is still such a great test. Fun place to play.
Well said, Frank. For my partner, Frank Nobilo, and all of us here at EA Sports, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now from TPC Scottsdale. This is EA Sports, PGA Tour coverage coming your way. Set in the Sonoran Desert and surrounded by the majestic McDowell Mountains, we're at the stadium course at TPC Scottsdale in Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo, set to bring you all the action for today's event. Frank, when you think about the TPC Scottsdale, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
The golf course has been radically changed in 2014, but it still hasn't lost its luster. Really, it's just been updated like the game itself for these young, strong players of the modern era.
On to the par 3 7th, 215 yards from that back tee box, Frank.
This hole hasn't really changed, still has that V-shaped green where it's very narrow in the front. A high-flying shot in here that carries that front edge, and you'll find the further and further you go back there, the more receptive and that green starts to widen.
Well, this could be good. Well, that one didn't work out. It didn't look bad in the air. It hit the green, but didn't sit.
Yeah, it was never going to stop.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait, and at least now he's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par. Safely on the dance floor.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Well, maybe next time. Take no pleasure in saying it, but it's a fact. It's a double bogey. Frank, the par 4 8th, this is a good hole.
It is a dog leg to the left, forces the player to go out the right, and this will play every inch of its yardage, which is over 470 yards. Green's still pretty much the same with that false front, unless there's a flag position in the front. You're really going to have to fly it at least 20 yards or so into that green, otherwise that ball is going to run towards the front.
Well, that was a beautiful drive, Frank. Really good position to take advantage.
Sitting up beautifully in the fairway.
This, the second shot here at the par 4.
Solid strike right in the heart of the green. This one just inside 30 feet. Certainly you wouldn't call that close.
On the computer, it registers at 29 feet. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars.